The Milky Way is ancient, vast, and terrifyingly empty. With 200 billion star systems and billions of potentially habitable planets, logic suggests the sky should be teeming with life. Even at a modest speed, say 10% of the speed of light, a single civilization could colonize the entire galaxy in just a few million years. In the grand timeline of the universe, a million years is a blink of an eye. So where is everyone? Why is nobody visiting us? Why is there no galactic radio, no megastructures, no hello? Usually, we assume that technology will eventually make space travel easy. But what if we're wrong? What if space is never easy, no matter how advanced you are? What if the universe is full of life, but we are all just crawling through an infinite, deadly ocean? To understand our place in the galaxy, we need to look at the only data point we have: our own history. "5,000 years ago, humans faced a challenge that mirrors our current quest for the stars. The Pacific Ocean was a vast, unforgiving void, scattered with tens of thousands of islands across millions of square kilometers. The Polynesians were the ultimate spacefarers of their time. Without modern navigation, they set out into the blue nothingness, risking everything to find a new home. But they discovered a harsh reality. Most islands were just wet rocks or barren corals. Some were hostile, lacking the resources to sustain a growing population. But then they found the good islands. They built kingdoms, traded across thousands of kilometers, and created a connected microcosm of humanity. However, even these empires were fragile. Take the Pitcairn Islands. They were settled for centuries, relying on distant trade. But when the connections broke or resources ran dry, the population vanished. What if the Milky Way is just a larger version of the Pacific Ocean, a hostile desert where good islands are rare and far between? We often hear that there are billions of Earth-like planets in the habitable zone. It sounds promising, but the term is misleading. In our own backyard, Venus and Mars are technically Earth-like in size and location, but they are hellscapes. Mars is a frozen, irradiated desert with toxic dust. Venus is a crushing greenhouse that would melt lead and dissolve you in acid. If humanity spent 1,000 years and unimaginable resources, we might terraform them. But why would we? We already have a perfect home. In a galactic context, most star systems are likely bad islands, barren rocks or gas giants where the elements want to kill you. Imagine traveling for 150 years on a generation ship only to arrive at a new Mars. The economic and biological cost of colonizing such a place is staggering. Perhaps the reason we don't see a galaxy-spanning empire is simply that the return on investment never adds up for 99% of the galaxy. Exploring these cosmic mysteries, from vast galactic scales to the smallest biological details, requires immense dedication in research and visual creation.
If you find Factolab's journey of discovery valuable, please consider subscribing. Your support is the fuel that powers our mission to bring the universe's most intriguing questions to life. Now, let's consider what happens when distant civilizations finally meet.
The Milky Way is not a static map. It's a swirling dance. Stars move in their own orbits, meaning stellar neighborhoods are temporary. Some regions might be crowded with good islands for a few million years, while others are isolated. Earth might currently be in a galactic backwater. We are surrounded by dozens of light years of bad islands in every direction. We are Pitcairn Island, so remote and isolated that no one knows we're here, or more likely, no one cares to make the long, expensive journey to such a lonely outpost. But elsewhere, in the dense spiral arms or near the core, things might be different. In those regions, good islands could be close enough to leapfrog from one to the next. In those pockets of the galaxy, there could be thousands of small, independent empires chatting, trading, and perhaps even fighting. Even if these island empires exist, they face a fundamental problem: distance. If a message takes 50 years to reach a colony and a ship takes 200 years, can you really call it a single civilization? Over time, isolated populations will develop their own cultures, languages, and eventually, through genetic isolation, they will become different species entirely. Interstellar war becomes pointless. Why fight a war over a planet when the soldiers who started it will be dead for centuries before the first shot is fired? Moreover, civilizations are fragile. We have already flirted with our own extinction through nuclear war and climate collapse, and we've only had technology for a century. Small colonies on new worlds would be even more vulnerable. An empire might flourish for 10,000 years, a heartbeat in cosmic time, and then collapse, leaving a good island empty for the next traveler to find 1,000,000 years later. This vision of the galaxy is both beautiful and haunting. It suggests a Milky Way that is alive but disconnected, a galaxy where civilizations pop up like bubbles in a glass of champagne, rising, expanding slightly, and then popping into nothingness. Islands are colonized, abandoned, and rediscovered over and over again. We might think we are alone only because our neighbor is 500 light years away, or because the last empire in our sector died out before the first pyramids were built in Egypt. Perhaps the great silence is not because life is rare, but because space is just that hard. We are currently looking at the sky from our lonely island, wondering if there's anyone else. One day, as our sun moves through the galaxy, we might drift closer to a better neighborhood. We might finally spot a good island with lights on the dark side. Is it scary to think we are isolated, or is it a gift? Being in a galactic backwater gives us time to grow up, to stop fighting among ourselves, and to learn how to be a sustainable species before we meet the neighbors. If the Milky Way is an ocean, we are just learning how to build our first boat. One day, Factolab might not be talking about the theory of aliens, but reporting on the first signals from a nearby archipelago of stars. Until then, we keep looking up. Thanks for watching until the end. If you enjoyed this journey across the stars, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell to join the Factolab family. What do you think? Are we alone or just isolated? Let us know in the comments. Stay curious.